Yesterday, a startling video of Tyson Fury, who was intoxicated, being led out of a UK pub and then face-planting on the street outside, went popular on X after losing to Oleksandr Usyk for the first time in his storied boxing career last month. Many believe that the Gypsy King is having a mental collapse.
I don't want to see this man in a really bad way in life. I might want to see him get outboxed and lose his belt, but I don't want to see him on a mental decline and really struggling emotionally or anything like that.
True Jordy from the podcast Pain Game. I had this to say regarding the state of affairs about the Gypsy King. It is a regrettable episode.
Money on it, I would say he probably went out with all the best of intentions of just having a good night out. But that pain and that emotional shit that he's carrying around with how he's feeling about himself at the moment, it's there. It's a loud voice in the Fury.
What then is the issue with Tyson Fury? Not much has been said about him since Usyk defeat. In what ways is he handling the loss? Will he be ready for the rematch with Usyk? In the video for today, let's talk about that and more. It's over for Tyson Fury. That's the most recent headline following yesterday's social media viral videos showing him being led out of a bar. After having one drink too many at the Nowhere pub in Morris, the British former world champion, who lost his championship to Oleksandr Usyk last month, was escorted out of the building on Friday night by two security personnel. The British boxer was shown in Lancashire CCTV stumbling on his knees and then hitting his head on an exterior lamppost. After his wildly successful boxing career, Tyson, who is claimed to be worth £300 million, partied at the venue until 11:00 p.m. with friends and supporters. However, staff decided that the Gypsy King was too drunk, so they ended his night and gently urged him to return to his £1.7 million mansion, which he shares with his wife Paris and their 7 children. According to a person close to Fury, the fighter hadn't taken a drink in over a year, and he also hadn't been feeling good after having a few too many. On the other hand, many fans were worried about the heavyweight boxer's mental health. A user said that he would never be the same Usyk who put an end to his career. Another claimed that the Usyk left hook in the ninth was still affecting him. A third said he hoped this was an isolated incident and that the Usyk loss was not causing him to spiral. Another video that a driver captured Fury crawling on his hands and knees outside the pub with his head down on the ground. They reported that after hearing a lot of yelling and chaos, they saw Tyson in the street, crawling on his hands and knees. He gave off a horrible vibe. I hope that was only a one-time incident for him. As we just discussed, supporters believe that the Gypsy King is under emotional hardship following his humiliating loss against Usyk. True. After the video became popular on X, Jordy examined the circumstances. He added that even if he had had bad experiences with Fury in the past, he didn't enjoy seeing the fighter in pain. Jordy stressed that although Fury's actions could just be the consequence of an excessive night out, it is understandable for people to be concerned considering Fury's history of mental health issues following fights, including the decline that followed his fight with Klitschko. Jordy mentioned that Fury had performed admirably in recent years, leading a more health-conscious lifestyle and staying out of the spotlight for contentious reasons. But he couldn't help but connect the latest video to Fury's defeat by Oleksandr Usyk, implying that the psychological damage of the loss may have played a part in his current state of affairs. Deeper emotional agony was indicated by Jordy's comment about how much booze it would take for someone the size of Fury to get so drunk.
Drink, the better you feel sometimes, because it's silencing that misery. And fuck me, I can't judge the guy for that. I've done it myself. How can I possibly? And sometimes you just keep drinking, and before you know it, fucking shit.
Considering Fury's mental health, Jordy conceded that drinking could momentarily quiet inner conflicts, a tactic he confessed employing personally. He showed empathy, saying that it made Fury more approachable to perceive him as a weak, hurting person. Jay counseled that although it's acceptable to exhibit weakness occasionally, this conduct needs to stop, particularly because a rematch with Usyk is imminent. He emphasized that Fury should use his loss into an incentive to work harder in his training. Jordy talked on the tremendous strain that Fury is under, not only from his fans and family, but also from himself, particularly because his father, John Fury, has been making bold claims about his son's invincibility. This strain on top of the loss has probably made Fury's emotional load even heavier. Jordy said that Fury finds it difficult to accept his new reality since his identity as the unbeaten champion has been severely damaged.
Fury. Because if there's one guy who you'd probably bet on to be resilient enough to come back from that, it's probably him, to be fair. For all I fucking take the piss, he's a tough son of a bitch. I'll never fucking say any different. But even for him, this is going to be hard. And that footage is a bit of evidence.
He maintained that Fury needed to use his suffering for good, much like Conor McGregor's coach, John Kavanagh, suggested handling defeat. Jordy thought Fury could make a tremendous return if he could utilize his mental turmoil as fuel, but he cautioned that such conduct may also be a sign of a larger issue. Jordy ended by hoping that by making Fury's weakness public, it will have a beneficial effect and inspire him to be more forthcoming about his issues. He thought that by being vulnerable, Fury might win back the affection of his supporters and establish a connection with them. Drawing comparisons with McGregor to propel future success, Jordy underlined the significance of accepting and managing negative emotions. In the end, he believed that Fury would be reminded of his humanity by this tragedy, which would result in a healthier and more determined comeback to boxing. Simon Jordan talked about Tyson Fury's recent public controversy as well. Jordan conveyed a combination of sympathy and empathy for the predicament. While he agreed that everyone has the right to unwind and have a fun night, he also pointed out the wider consequences of that kind of behavior for a professional athlete. Jordan conceded that Fury's behavior might be a response to his most recent defeat. While acknowledging that Fury's battles with mental health, particularly bipolar disorder, may have played a role, he denounced the culture's propensity to record and make fun of people in their moments of vulnerability and called out the vultures who try to use these situations to incite conflict or make money.
The pavement. So you get some smart arse out in the pavement with a mobile phone who decides, I'll clean up here and take some footage of Tyson,
that's the world we live in,
is a bit worse for wear. So unfortunately, as you say, that's the world we live in. And
real sound clips. Although Jordan refrained from expressing his wrath towards Fury, he stressed the importance of discipline and upholding a specific image for a professional athlete, particularly one of Fury's caliber. He emphasized how crucial it was for Fury to be in top physical and mental shape for his impending fight with Oleksandr Usyk. Jordan pointed out that while if Fury's actions could be justified as an isolated occurrence, they shouldn't be repeated, particularly in light of the demanding nature of professional boxing and the obligations placed on elite athletes. Jordan makes analogies to other British athletes who have experienced comparable problems. He emphasized that in order for athletes to compete at their peak levels, they must lead disciplined lives. With all due respect, I can recall seeing Fury recently. Jordan stated that he wanted to see Fury return to the ring as the best version of himself, one that could once again hold the title of finest heavyweight boxer. You know, approximately 6 months ago, I made an upfront video of him. Although Fury is in excellent condition, I recall visiting him in Manchester a few years ago, and Jordan stressed the need of Fury striking a balance between his personal and professional obligations. He restated that although Fury has a right to his own time, staying in top form is essential to his professional success, particularly when going up against strong opponents like Usyk. While many simply observed the Gypsy King intoxicated and acting strange, Jordan's remarks ultimately highlighted a combination of empathy for Fury's problems and a realistic view of the demands of professional athletics. While Fury sipped several beverages and conversed with admirers at the Strawberry Gardens pub in Morum, a few bystanders at the establishment confirmed that Fury had a typical day. I'm sure you've all seen the video of Tyson Fury being escorted out of nowhere on Facebook. Plenty of people had plenty to say. The man is a die legend and multimillionaire, but he is still just like you or me. He goes out shopping like you do, goes to the pub like you do, and maybe gets drunk like you too. I get that he is a public figure, but he is only human. DJ Scott Shearing defended Fury, recounting how he happily posed for pictures with dozens of fans and even gave one young girl £20 for posting a picture of Fury online. I have to give him credit because he always agrees to have his picture taken. He was in the Stubbs Fry for a good few hours, during which time everyone was singing and keeping to themselves. Many people asked to have their picture taken with him. In fact, one little girl I know had her picture taken with him, and he gave her £20. For heaven's sake, the man is a boxing great regardless of his most recent match. Nonetheless, he always brings us up and is glad to be a Moron resident. Based on testimonies from eyewitnesses, this seems to be a one-time event rather than a reflection of recurring problems. While Fury's inebriated state on camera caused some alarm, it's critical to understand that even the most accomplished athletes require some downtime to decompress. It's possible to see Fury's actions as an isolated incident rather than a pattern, and it's likely that he will soon resume training with fresh determination. Before their planned rematch, Fury and Oleksandr Usyk have both openly said that they would like to take a significant vacation. Both boxers agreed to an extended recovery period because the first fight required rigorous physical and mental preparation. Their prolonged rest period enables them to thoroughly recover and rest, so they can compete at their peak when they return to the ring. Even though it was regrettable, Fury's night out does not diminish his commitment to it and skill as a professional athlete. It appears that he will make good use of this sabbatical given his track record of accomplishment and resilience in the face of adversity. Throughout his career, the former heavyweight champion has consistently displayed tenacity and resolve, and today should be no exception. Glancing forward, it is anticipated that Fury will take a few months off before beginning his intense training schedule again. He will be able to heal physically and psychologically during this time, getting him ready for the grueling training camps that lie ahead. Fury will probably return his attention as the rematch draws near to the rigorous training needed for his decisive victory against Usyk, but we'd still want to hear your opinions. Is Tyson Fury going to bounce back quickly and compete in the rematch? Is this an isolated instance? As well as join the channel. To ensure that you never miss any more videos like this, turn on the bell for the most recent notifications. We appreciate your time and we'll see you in the next video.